Hello, my name is David Webb, and this is a video for Dweebovision. I am a Scrabble grandmaster, and in this video I am going to play Scrabble while providing in-game commentary on my moves. Hopefully this will help to improve your game, and be fun to watch. The game has just started, so let's join the action. It's my opponent to go first. I have a pretty awful rack. I'm wondering if Nunny or Gunny are good. And possibly both of them are. And certainly either of those 5-letter plays will sort this rack out. I certainly do need to sort it out, because it's absolutely awful. Okay, well, Nunny and Gunny do both play. Well, and Funny plays. Funny's going to score more, and it's not going to open up column 1, which Nunny and Gunny would have done. So Funny 22 points. GNT's not a bad leave, especially if I draw an I, because then I'll have the ing suffix. Great, that's a much better looking rack. I don't have a bingo, a 7-letter bingo. I have rotating through an R and troting its anagram. What else do I have? Well, that may be all I have on the board at the moment, but if I can't play a bingo, I ought to be able to resolve this rack and leave a decent rack lead for next go. I've got the N for going to the left of the Y of Funny. And the G goes next to the U of Funny, so I could play Gain, but that would leave me with 2 T's. Okay, rotating is blocked, and no additional floaters have been provided. I need to be sure that I'm not missing... notating, yes! That would have been a serious oversight if I hadn't spotted this. Notating. Great. Well, I wasn't expecting to get a bingo down on my second move when I saw my opening rack. That is splendid. I don't think there are any other bingos. Great, look at that. I have a good rack and I have the blank. I surely do have another bingo here. Notating doesn't take an S after it, so I don't have a column 13 bingo. So rows M and G look the most promising. And I guess column 8 if I had a bingo ending in M. Tediums doesn't quite work. Now, what do I have that is playable? I'm just going to mentally run through the alphabet for the blank and then see if any candidate moves that I see actually fit. I think this is a board for 7. Well, before I do that, let me consider column 11, the N of notating. That is a double-double column. So, do I have a stunned? Wow, I'm grateful for spotting that fairly quickly. This is certainly going to be the best spot on the board, because a double-double is better than a triple word score. So the only moves better than this one would be another bingo in the same spot, and that's only going to be marginally better and possibly not better at all. So a stun for 82. Great. I am drawing well. I have Frowsier in column F onto the R of firm, I believe. That's certainly good with spelt with a W, and I think it's good with a U as well. Now if that spot is taken, what else do I have? Well, it's not taken, so I'm certainly going to try it. Can't see anything remotely close to another bingo to consider. Let's see if this stays on the board. If it does, the bingo run has come to an end. I don't think I have anything with my current rack. I have coved at B10, which is going to score quite well. 34 points. And that will sort out the rack. What else is available on this board? The C by itself is quite a bingo-y tile, but the problem with this rack is I don't have a bingo and I have 2 C's and an M, so I'm really looking to play off 2 of those 3 high-scoring tiles and leave a decent vowel-consonant balance. It's not a priority to play off one of the E's. Duplicate E's not too much of a problem. I need to be sure that I'm not overlooking a bingo. Okay, so 31 for my opponent. Now, is coved best? It does actually leave me with a C and an M, which isn't good. And what about the F of Frowsier? What can I get by playing through that? Well, not very much. It's not a great tile with my rack, but it's also not a particularly dangerous tile. My opponent's unlikely to bingo through it. Now 34 points is a decent score. CEM is an okay rack leave. Be nice to play off one more C or the M, but I don't think I can do that. Okay, well, I have blocked myself. I would have Meteoric through the R of Frowsier, but Cove obstructs that. This is an interesting looking rack. Am I missing a bingo? I've got the D of Cove to consider as a floater. And is there any anagrams of Meteoric? I don't think there is. I don't think this rack goes with a vowel. I don't think it goes with the F. I have motif onto the F, but that doesn't hit the triple word square. Faux. Well, faux, 18 points, keeping the C and the M, that's not great. I've got a 150 point lead, so I have got off to a storming start. I'd like to maintain that lead. Now, row H is a hot spot through the U of stunned. If I get my C or my M on that double letter square and get it tripled, I'd get a decent score. Well, I think this is good, but I am going to check. Yeah, it's fine. And my opponent did play an R, but it's not available for Meteoric. Moiety in column 1 doesn't hit triple word square. So, what am I going to do with this rack? Well, I could play Emo down here. Now the rack leave of CITE is a good rack leave. It scores 28 points. It's leaving the scoring opportunities on the board available. The triple word squares at A8, A15 and in column 1 are all still available. So with a multitude of scoring opportunities available, by keeping them available, I'm ensuring that some of them remain available for me despite what my opponent does. So Emo 28 points and it's a good score. I can't see an obvious place where I can score better than that. Right, I have Deuteric in column 14 onto the from down from the D of coved. And hopefully that will remain available, because I can't see another. Ah, well, Eucrite is good. But is there a spot? Yes, there is. Row N at N9, starting underneath the W of how, I've got Eucrite. So, is it deuteric or Eucrite? I think it's got to be Eucrite, because this gets doubled. Great. Well, this is a fantastic game. Always fun when you're winning. Now, Eucrite, although it scores more, this does open up a 9 timer. I'm only 50 points ahead, but I think you can get overly anxious about not providing 9 timers. They really don't happen very often. And I'm rewarded with a terrible rack. But there are vowels on the board, so I should be able to play my way through this. But what I'd like to do is play off 3 consonants. If I play off only 2, there's a strong possibility of drawing another 2 consonants. And as long as I've got 7 consonants on my rack, I'm not going to score very well. And I will be looking to play off one of the N's. A duplicate N is pretty awful. But where are the opportunities? Well, difficult to see. Maybe I should change. There are no blanks left. I can see the tiles that are left at the bottom of the screen. A lot of vowels. So if I can play off 3 tiles, there's a reasonable prospect of drawing one. I could play Hun in row H, but it doesn't score very much, and it's only 2 consonants. So am I missing a good spot on this board? Wow, tricky stuff. Even one vowel would have given me a lot of flexibility. Well, I could play Hin. Great, my opponent has taken out. Well, my opponent has taken out the 9 timer lane, which was his only opportunity of... Sorry, which was a good opportunity for him. And he hasn't scored very much. What he has done is lost contact or quit. What I will do now is pause and resume when he returns or the game's adjudicated in my favour. Welcome back. My opponent didn't return. The game has been adjudicated in my favour, so the final score, 272 to my opponent, 373 to me, a winning margin of 101 points. Although we're only 13 minutes into this game, there are only 16 tiles left, so we are actually very close to the end game. And we didn't get to that point, so let's have a look at the game to the extent that it was played and see what I missed. So my opponent went first, and Gunny and Nunny were both good, but Funny was best. Notating and atoning. I didn't consider that, but notating was better. Now, there were 2 spots for notating. Notating also played 1 row lower down above Rybat and parallel to it, which would have been 13 more points. So that was a miss. Now, a stunned and audience were the 2 double doubles, but a whole bunch of other bingos were playable. Frowsier was good, and it was the only bingo. Coved looks like it was best. And Comfit for 48 points. I didn't see that, and I should have done. Instead, I played Emo for 20 fewer points. A much better rack leave. but I don't think CEIT is 20 points better than EE as a rack leave. Possibly 10 points, 10 or 12 points, so Comfit was the better play. Eucrite and Deuteric were the only bingos, and this was the highest scoring placement. My opponent played Paul's and then quit, so I don't know if I can see. Yeah. Now the plays that are being recommended here, Drip is the only one which plays off three of the consonants, but it doesn't score very much and it keeps the duplicate N. I think had the game played on, I would have played Hin at C11 and hoped to draw one of the remaining vowels, because there are a lot of vowels unseen, and I did have a big lead at this point. So I think I would have gone on to win, which is probably why my opponent abandoned the game. Anyway, that was a very exciting game. Despite it being abandoned, I managed to play 4 bingos. So it was a good example of a game with lots of bingos, and it's important to look out for bingos because they make a big difference to a game. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video and got something out of it. My name is David Webb, and this has been a video for Dweebovision.